everyone. Today we will start number lecture 7 on the subject comparative typology of English, Kazakh and Russian languages. The theme of our lecture, methods of comparative typological research, and the plan of our lecture, methods of comparative typological research and comparative methods. Methods of comparative typological research. There are many languages on earth, both great and small. According to modern calculation, the number of living languages exceeds 2,500 languages, and alongside of highly developed national languages with ancient writing and literature, there are languages having no writing and no recorded history. Here belong the spoken language of tribes and small nationalities in America, Africa, Australia. Many of the spoken languages are dying out together with peoples, and due to the miserable condition they have been reduced to by the higher European civilization, as in the case with the Aboriginal Indian tribes in America or Australia. On the other hand, the number of known languages is still growing as new languages and the dialects come to be recorded and studied by science. And here is a methods. Observing the fact that some of the languages are very similar to one another in their forms, while others are quite dissimilar. Scholars still long ago expressed by the idea that languages revealing formal features of similarity have a common origin. And the comparative methods aims at establishing the isomorphic alongside of allomorphic features and their base determining of structural types of language under constructive investigation. Attempt to establish the group of kindred languages were repeatedly made from the 16th century on, but consistently scientific proof and study of the actual kinship between languages became possible only when the historical comparative methods of language study was created in the first quarter of the 19th century. The historical comparative methods developed the connection with the comparative observation of language belonging to the Indo-European family, and its appearance was stimulated by the discovery of Sanskrit. Here is the relationship between the languages. The relation between the language of the Indo-European family were studied systematically and scientifically at the beginning of the 19th century by Franz Bopp and Erasmus Christian Rask, Georg Grimm and Alexander Christoforovich Vostokov and others. And these scientists not only made comparative and historical observation of the kindred language, but they defined the fundamental conception of linguistic kinship and created the historical comparative methods in linguistics. Comparing methods. The historical comparative methods is a system of analytical procedures applied to the study of language in their historical development. It is it's used to analyze and discover the relationship of different language and a group of language to reconstruct prehistoric element in the sense that they are not fixed in written monuments, to reveal a course of historical development of lingual element in their complex interrelationship. And the comparative method is research technique used primarily in social science, particularly in a field like linguistics, anthropology and sociology, to identify patterns, similarities and differences across different cultures, languages, societies or historical periods. It involves comparing two or more entities. Here is a comparative methods is used in these contexts. The first is linguistics, sociology, cultural anthropology. Comparative methods is used in this context as a linguistic. In linguistics, the comparative methods is used to study the historical relationship between language. It involves comparing languages that are believed to have a common ancestor known as a proto-language. And the comparative methods next is a cultural anthropology. In anthropology, the comparative methods involves comparing different cultures or societies to identity patterns in social structures, belief systems, rituals, and behaviors. This can help Anthropologists understand the variety of human experience and how different societies respond to similar challenges. For example, comparing kinship structures across different societies to examine how family systems function globally. In sociology, use comparative methods to understand social institutions, practices, and structure in different societies or groups. It often involves comparing variables such as economic systems, political structures, or social norms to draw conclusions about social behavior. For example, comparing democratic and authoritarian political systems to understand their effect in civil liberties. Key steps in the comparative methods. The first is formulation of hypotheses of theories, establishing similarities and differences, identification of units or a comparison, and collection of data. The comparative method is useful for drawing broader conclusions and understanding how different elements in society, language, or culture involve and influence one another. In conclusion, beyond linguistics, the comparative methods plays a crucial role in fields such as cultural anthropology and sociology. By systematically comparing social structures, belief systems, and political institutions, researchers can uncover universal patterns, analyze social developments, and gain a deeper understanding of human civilization. By integrating linguistics, anthropological, and sociological perspectives, comparative typological research continues to enrich our knowledge of human history and the dynamic nature of language and society. And the lecture is over. See you soon.